Shield and Arrow, day 5. Fighting is escalating anew today. Yet another barrage of rockets this past minutes, really, from the Gaza Strip into Israel's southern communities all along the Israel-Gaza border, sending residents into shelter once again. A string of such attacks since the early morning hours. Most of the rockets intercepted by the Iron Dome anti-missile system, others landing in open areas. No casualties reported. Meanwhile, Israeli fighter jets and aircraft attacking 6 Palestinian Islamic Jihad rocket and mortar launchers throughout the Strip without the presence of uninvolved civilians. At the same time, an Israeli forces operation foiling attempts to carry out attacks in the West Bank, confiscating military equipment in Nablus and killing 2 armed Palestinians who obtained explosives. The renewed rocket fire comes as Egypt has put forward an renewed ceasefire outline. So far isn't bearing much fruit, with the PIJ officials rejecting truce prospects. But Washington is starting to signal Jerusalem, while we support Israel's right to defend itself, it's time to de-escalate the situation. So let's cross now live to I-24 News correspondent Hamda Salhout right at the Israel-Gaza border. Hamda, you and the I-24 News team just rushing to and from shelter short minutes ago, right before this broadcast.
Ellie, good afternoon. We've had 2 red alerts here. You can see this is the remnants of the rocket fire coming from the Gaza Strip. Palestinian Islamic Jihad trying to send a clear message to Israel that this is not over, putting out a statement saying, in the face of the continuation of the assassination and the bombings of homes and safe houses, the Palestinian resistance will renew its missile bombardment of the occupied cities, confirming the continuation of the confrontation and the revenge of the free people. Going on to say that the resistance has prepared itself for months of confrontation. You're looking at live images now of the Iron Dome interceptions happening just moments ago while we were waiting to come to air with you. This is all happening while the funeral services are underway for the Palestinian Islamic Jihad commander who was killed yesterday in a targeted assassination. As we speak, we are getting more and more red alerts for these southern communities, but a lot of people here have actually already left or been evacuated. This is the farthest point you can go without encountering the Israeli military. Now, over on the Gaza side, multiple airstrikes this morning targeting homes. Sources tell me that they do not believe any sort of Palestinian Islamic Jihad militants were in those homes. 3-story buildings, at least several of them totally demolished after those airstrikes. This is a continuation of the conflict after the Israeli military started Operation Shield and Arrow on Tuesday with 3 targeted assassinations of Palestinian Islamic Jihad leaders. Now, it's up for discussion whether other factions will get involved. The PLFP, that is the People's Front for the Liberation of Palestine, said that they are involved in some of this conflict, and even saying that one of their militants died in an assassination not too long ago. His funeral taking place yesterday. Several red alerts now as we speak to you in a continuation of this conflict. Islamic Jihad vowing for more revenge. Rocket fire there. Ahmed over there. Continuing a rocket fire now from the Gaza Strip. We can expect to hear the Iron Dome in several places. Ashkelon in the south, the industrial zone as well. Kerem, Shalom, Nir Yitzhak, all of these southern border communities. You can hear some of these explosions. Look at this, Ahmed. This, a live rocket being fired from the Gaza Strip right now toward those southern communities. Palestinian Islamic Jihad vowing retaliation for these targeted assassinations. They're saying they're not going to let up and that there will be a price to pay for these assassinations, for the destruction of homes, and for the continuation of the occupation in the West Bank, in the occupied territories. And they say the besieged Gaza Strip Ellie.
Yes, I-24 News correspondent Hamza Salhout bringing us all the latest live from the ground there, and also our cameraman Ahmed Alami there with you. Stay safe, and much more from Hamda throughout our broadcasts here. Thank you very much, Hamza Salhout, for this. And as we've just heard from Hamza Salhout, many of the southern residents left their homes in the past few days in the pursuit of some peace as much as possible, while their hometowns are being constantly bombarded. Many of them, however, somewhat encouraged by Israel's proactive approach this time around. Is that enough, though, to prevent the next round? Take a listen to what some of Israel's southern residents had to tell us.
We evacuated before everything really started. This go around, the kibbutz and Medina got us organized to evacuate before everything started. We're on day 5 here that I'm with my 6 and 8-year-old daughters in a hotel in Jerusalem, where we thought, okay, we're safe.
Yeah.
And as I took my girls to try to relax and enjoy in a pool, my app is going off, and oops, now they're shooting towards Jerusalem as well. So there really is no safe place. I think, unfortunately, we've gotten kind of used to this, and we know that about once a year, if not more, this is going to happen. And it seems like anything is a reason for them to just, start a war. One of the last go-arounds 2 Mays ago, we decided we were going to stay, and we spent the night running into the safe room, which is where my daughters sleep. And we woke up one morning, and in our backyard, we had a huge massive smoke, and we said, okay, you know what, now let's leave. But we got to my car, and I had no windshield. The shrapnel had already blown out my windshield. And
wow.
I think now residents are really, it is a matter of safety. We can only sort of rally and stay in our homes so long. And I think when you have children, you really can't, at least me personally, I can't tough it out. I have children, and it's not a way to live.
Yeah, I left on Wednesday. It was a very difficult decision because I usually remain behind, giving interviews from there, vlogging. But this time I decided to evacuate because my family needed help. My daughter is also from Nirim, and she has 3 children. And she's in charge of the communal activities. So when a kibbutz and I evacuated with my kibbutz, and when a kibbutz evacuates with 250 people, the job of the cultural organizer is to organize activities for the people who are there, so that we can be together and experience things together and relax a little bit and deal with things as a community. So I felt that she needed my help this time. Sometimes I'm happy I came, sometimes I'm sorry I came, but it's very hard. It's hard being a refugee. We keep having to move because although hotels are amazingly generous and opening their rooms to not a few people, 250 people in this special program that the government organized, they can't have us for more than a day or 2 at a time. So we started off in Netanya. Yesterday we moved to Nahariya. It's not easy.